Okay, you guys, let's do this. It's going to be so professional. Like, so professional. Here we go. Welcome to the Life Support Podcast with your hosts, Michele VanDusen and June Colson. A couple of clean comedians who support each other and others through comedy's wacky and winding roads. I hope you're ready. Get set. Let's go. Since podcasts have a catchy tune, we wrote this song for Michele and June. Clean comedians are best friends too. Oh, it's so good. And you never know what they'll say or do. Here we go, sing with me on Life Support. With Michele, who's really short. We'll have a ball. With June, who's really tall. They have fun. Interviewing comedians on Life Support. With Michele, who's really short. Now they have their catchy tune. If Michele jumps high, she's eye to eye with June. Let's be clear, June's tall and Michele's real short. And now it's time to start Life Support.
The Life Support Podcast is brought to you by the Hot Breath Comedy Network.
Welcome to the award-winning Life Support Podcast. I'm your host, June Bug Colson, here with Michele with one L, Trisha's sister, Rhonda Colson, Corey's friend, apparently wildlife photographer. Do not call me Shelly, Michele VanDusen. Look what I found. I found my squirrel fingers.
I was wondering what those were. I didn't know they were squirrels. I thought it was like a Bigfoot hand, but I can see it now. Oh my gosh.
Little squirrel face. There's a squirrel head somewhere, but he's lost his head. So, which reminds me of my childhood toy that I really want to order. It literally was a doll that you pulled her head off and it was attached with a string and it would slowly go back and she would yell, "I lost my head over you." And then she would say, "Oops, there goes my body." And I can't remember the other phrases. Anyway, one of the women at the church I go to, one night we were talking about it and she found it on maybe eBay or something like that. And I'm just too cheap to spend the money on it, but I really do want that doll one day. I'm going to buy it one of these days. I feel like it was like $50 or $60.
That's it?
Maybe. Yeah. But still, that's a lot for but when I tell you, I loved that doll. I was the psycho kid with a crazy doll in the backyard that I pulled its head off of. And I loved that it had punny, quirky, silly little phrases that it said as its body came back and connected. But who thought of that toy? Who was like, it'd be a great toy for little girls as a doll that you rip her head off and it reconnects while saying really freaky phrases.
I think the person that created that doll is the same person that created that channel on True Murders and all that kind of stuff, where it's all just murders and real life crime and blah, 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 where most women watch. So I'm thinking they knew something.
Maybe. My mom loved a good murder mystery, man. That's all she ever read. And she read the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, like preteen books. But then she also read adult murder mysteries. So she would anything that had a mystery to it. Her favorite show of all time was Scooby-Doo. She had Scooby-Doo dolls in her van. She had stickers. She had sweatshirts. Yeah. And we know, you bought me a Scooby-Doo for my birthday this year, a Scooby-Doo mug. So anyway, we like a good mystery. We love a good mystery. But yeah,
I like the Trixie Belden books.
The what?
Those are the Trixie Belden books.
Trixie Belden mystery?
Yes. Yeah. Trixie Belden books is a little easier to read than the Nancy Drew. So Trixie Belden would be middle school. And Nancy Drew is the second half of middle school to high school.
Yeah.
So Trixie Belden. Jeepers, that's scary.
In my book, I write about how mom would always just threaten dad with, "I ought to kill you." And, she was always saying something very murderous towards my father. And at a certain point, I'm like, all she reads is murder mysteries. I'm
Dun, dun,
pretty sure she could probably do it and maybe get away with it. Like if she ever got mad at it, if she'd been studying it her whole life, as all of these murder mysteries. And so I don't know. But like Scooby Doo, she probably wouldn't get away with it. It'd be, who did it? Ava Vaughn, Mo, Mama Ava, Mama Mo. That's who did it.
Oh,
So yeah. So Michelle, so you wrapped up your the Kids Comedy Club this
I
month.
did. Yes.
How does
Woo-hoo.
that feel? I'm sure it's probably like a combination of relief and then kind of like, oh, you miss them. You connect with those little boogers.
Yes. Definitely it's a relief that that session is over because it was a lot of, scheduling kind of thing. Because now they're just now getting into other sports that are coming into play for after
Right.
school rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. So it was just starting to get into the busy season for the kids. And yeah, the kids did well,
Right.
but because we had sound issues,
Mm,
the audience didn't hear everything, and that's the biggest key. No matter
yeah.
how hard you work on something, if they can't hear you, then
Right.
it's not gonna be a good show, but it was a good show, you just couldn't hear part of it, and I was like, "Ugh." So, I failed on that part because, like, I should have just grabbed the mic and said, "Here, hold this," and made some more adjustments and things like that, and so I failed as an instructor at that point on, making it better. But, the kids did really well, and they got some good laughs, and, some of their parents showed up and supported them, which was really cool. We had 2 children from the same family, and both sets of their grandparents and their parents came.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so that was really, really nice,
Aw.
seeing that kind of a thing. But was really cool, the week before there's a new comedy festival here in Tulsa called Make
That's
'em
right.
Laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing the shirt from it, Make 'em
Yeah.
Laugh.
Make them laugh. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was a fill-in, last minute fill-in kind of a thing because somebody couldn't make it, and so, Nicole Miller gave them my name because they needed a family-friendly section.
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I stepped in, but I found out while I was there that they have, a section for comedy kids, and so I asked more questions about it, and I was like, "Oh, if I would have known ahead of
Yeah.
time, I probably could have gotten some of my kids here. They could have performed," you know?
Yeah.
So we're in talks about doing that maybe next October, including them. So
Oh, that'd be super fun. Yeah, that's cool. Just kind of a last minute thing to be able to pop in there. And I love that they have like a clean segment
mhm.
of it.
Yep.
But I don't know that I've ever heard of anybody doing. I like the logo too. It's just a big mouth. That's me.
Yeah.
I relate to that
Yep.
in so many levels. But yeah, that's I don't know that I've ever heard of a comedy uh anything like that festival or something incorporating kids, comedy kids in there. I would definitely go watch that. I would be bouncing in to see the next generation of comics coming up. So yeah, that's super
Yeah.
cool. Where did you perform?
It was downtown Tulsa at TCC, which is like one of the campus connections for this college, and it was in one of their rooms. It's a very big building. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
on the GPS somewhere. Ross was my driver, which is really good because it was pouring rain, and there was a race downtown at the same time.
Oh no.
So the comedian following me, was late only because the roads were all blocked off and they
Yeah.
made her walk like 8 blocks or something even more in the
Wow.
rain, uphill. Yeah, so it was like, oh, so yeah, that was
How
not
did
good.
she do when she performed? Did she
Oh,
do okay or
she
was she
killed it.
done?
She killed it because, she's a professional. She killed
Yes.
it. Sandra Slade is probably just a really funny comedian, and so she was also part of the family friendly section,
Yeah.
and,
Did you know
she's
her already, or is that somebody?
mhm. Yeah, yeah, I knew who she yeah, and, most of the Tulsa comedy scene is kind of, small but big.
Yeah.
So it's if you're not down there and doing the open mics and just doing the other stages, then you get not known, because it is a small, tight community type of a thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because Nicole knew who I was, my name was put in. Otherwise, people don't really know me because I'm not down there a lot. So that's detriment to me, but it's okay because I do a lot of stuff outside of Tulsa.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Speaking of Nicole, was her hair like that deep color, purplish kind of red? I don't know how to describe it. Had she dyed it that color yet? I noticed in a Halloween video, she had a new hair color, and I love it. I wish I could be that bold and just do it's a really cool color. So I was just
Her
curious.
hair's auburn. I mean, that's her natural.
Right, but this was like enhanced. This was like
I don't know. I didn't see her this weekend, so I
hmm.
don't know. I don't
Gotcha.
know. Couldn't tell you.
Gotcha. Well, we talked about too, though, doing a comedy class for kids.
Yeah.
It's not just about the performance night. Really, for them, like they get excited and they do that. But I think the biggest benefit for them is to have something unique and fun and helps them with their public speaking skills. And it really is about the journey and less about the final thing, for them. And I know that you want it to be the best for them
Yeah.
that it could possibly be, but that's also a lesson learned too of like just rolling with it. And I love that their parents came. Were your parents the type that showed up, Michelle, to like the activities, or like what did you do? I know you said you played sports. Wait, I forget. You said you played basketball, didn't you?
Yes, I was a star player for basketball.
How did you just go under their legs? Like how? Like you're so
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, under their arms mostly. Like our center, she never jumped, So even though she was the tallest, she wouldn't make most of her shots because she wouldn't jump.
Yes.
Like it was just one of those kind of things. So I was very athletic and I was all over the place. Yeah, I would get the ball and I'd be down court before anybody like, where'd she go? Like that. So
And honestly, if we did like a Q&A together and it was, people got to guess like which one of us played basketball,
it would be
I don't
you.
think people would go with you first.
No.
Like who was a star basketball player? And it'd be like, June. No, I did.
Did
I
you
was a cheerleader.
play sports?
No.
No, not even like volleyball?
But just on like rec leagues and because we didn't have volleyball in this area. There was no girls volleyball in Kentucky. That was not really a thing in this area until honestly, gosh, until probably 10 or 15 years after I graduated high school, did they even start doing a program like that. The university here, Western Kentucky University, they had a great program, an amazing girls volleyball program, just like championship winning program, but it just hadn't hit really. But there wasn't even girls soccer when I was in high school. There was boys soccer and one girl who played on their team, but there was no girls soccer when I was growing up. So yeah, the sports that kids can play now is really expanded. But no, I joined every club that there was. I was in FHA, FCA, FBLA, drama club. I was a soccer manager. I was a football manager, cheerleader. Trying to think of what else. Anyway, I would sign up for anything that got me out of the house that I didn't, no, my parents didn't show up to anything. When I was a cheerleader and they would do parent night, I would get my rose. You're supposed to take your rose and go up into the bleachers and give your mom a hug and your dad a kiss. And I just kissed random students I would be like, you're my mom, Alicia, your mom, and Brad, your dad. And so I would literally it was just a joke that I was going to go up and kiss someone randomly on parent night. Because no, mom showed up. I think I shared this before. Mom showed up to when I was in the play, the musical Bye Bye Birdie. Oh. She showed up and told everybody I was the floozy in the play because I was the girl who was trying to get Conrad Birdie's attention on the train. And I did a tap dance thing and a black silk dress and the splits on stage. That was my shining
Wow.
moment. So mom did love theater and movies, and her imagination was huge. And so for whatever reason, that's the one thing that they showed up to. And when people are like, "Who's your daughter?" and she would say, "Oh, Junebug," and they're like, "Oh, what part does she play?" And she's like, "She's the floozy." Like, thanks, mom. Thanks. So anyway, no, she
I
didn't show
love
up.
that so much that that she showed up for that and was very proud that her
Hmm.
daughter was the floozy. Like, that's
Hmm.
amazing. And the fact that you could do splits, wow. I Yeah, that was the bane of my existence. I could not do the splits.
How
So
you are so close to the ground. It feels like zero effort, Michelle. For me, it's literally like it's a long way down. But you, it just it just feels like you just have to go beep and you're
no,
in the
no.
splits.
I know, yeah, I was never able to accomplish that.
Yeah,
So that's why my gymnastics career did not do well. Like, that was
yeah,
the end of that. But I was the girl on the all boys soccer team, and I was the girl on uh, the the baseball team first. Like,
yeah.
all those kind of things. We had a girls volleyball team, but I was in it, I think, one game maybe, and I quit because it was the same time frame as the soccer team, so I chose
Yeah.
soccer over volleyball. Um, yeah, that was,
I could see soccer being a better sport for you
yeah,
than
it was
volleyball.
definitely, way better. Now, my mom, not only did she show up to all of our things, plus, they put us in orchestra, so they were at every concert, um, but my mom actually subbed for the basketball coach one time. No, my
Okay.
mom knows nothing about basketball or coaching. She
Yeah.
just knows that everybody deserves time to play. And so when our coach got kicked out of the game, um, and so he had to be out of the room, and he was in the cafeteria, and you could see his little face in the little glass trying to look, and you could see him getting all upset out there because my mom's like, "Okay, who hasn't played yet? You haven't? Okay, you can go in. Who else hasn't played yet? Okay, you can go in." So you could see his face like getting all upset. So it was great. We won the game. But it was fabulous. She's yelling defense, and we're like, "Mom, it's offense." Oh, okay, offense. She had no
Oh,
clue what
yeah.
was going on.
I was that
Yeah.
cheerleader. I didn't know. They didn't let me start cheers because I'd be like, D, 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 defense. And they'd be like, June, we have the ball. And I'm like, cool. D, D, D. I'm like, I didn't get it. I didn't get that. That was wrong. I didn't know. I like on the and one, I would start shoot for two, shoot for two. I didn't know it. I didn't know they didn't automatically get two. Like I didn't know the and one was they had to hit. I really didn't know until my kids played. It was really bad. Now my I lie when I say cheerleading was the only thing I did in rec volleyball. I did have one season of softball when I lived in Indiana, at the little Shirley Park in
Mhm.
Indiana, and my parents didn't show up to any of that either. But you could walk everywhere in the town. It was a town of 700 people, and I got hit in the face by the ball, and I was scared to death, and I didn't want to play or bat anymore. And there's one little girl who was there, and she was always on the bench with a slushie.
Mm.
Whenever she got hot or whatever, they would give her a slushie, and I found out that she had diabetes, and that's why they give her a slushie. And so I just told them I had diabetes, and they didn't know. Mom and dad didn't show up to nothing. And then I at Sunday at church, somebody was talking about it and said they didn't realize that I had diabetes. And my mom dragged me home by my ponytail. Where she's like, "That's why you came home with a blue tongue." And I'm like, yeah. So that was the end of my sporting career. I used to have a joke where I said I played basketball, but I do have like a guilty spirit. And mom was a person that everything was a sin. And I used to have a joke that I said I played basketball until I stole the ball once, and then I felt really bad for the girl, so I was
You
like,
returned it.
sorry, and I just gave it back to her. And the coach was like, June, I don't think we're gonna need you. Um, but I pulled that joke. I stopped doing that joke. But honestly, I didn't play because one, I didn't have any sporting, I had no athletes in my family that, nobody played sports. There's nobody encouraging me in doing that. And also I was watching them like in practice, how they, press up against each other and push and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't think I have the self-control not to, at that time of my life, I wouldn't have the self-control not to swing on somebody. Like I was like, oh wait, they do. Nobody's getting up on me like that. Like I would have been kicked out pretty quick. So I went to
Do you
cheerleading where it's, it didn't
do you
matter.
like watching sports? Because this past week, my niece's husband just won his, I think it's when they fight in a cage. Is it MME,
MMA?
FFE, MMA? I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, anyway, he won like this. So do you like watching that kind of
I've been
sport?
to an MMA fight in Las Vegas. These are not things that I was naturally drawn to. This is because I lived in a house of boys and a boy home that all the other boys came to. And so there was always, they played everything: football, baseball, basketball, cross country, track. And so, I just naturally was always at a ball field or, basketball game or whatever. And then the boys fell in love with MMA, and I love my boys. And so if they were interested in it, I would at least show some interest, it didn't necessarily matter to me, but so Jason and I watch sports all the time. It's always on. The World Series just finished up.
World Series of fighting?
Baseball.
Oh, baseball.
The
Okay.
Baseball World Series. Yes, the World Series. Dodgers won. And but we're doing fantasy football, and that's super fun because it's a church league fantasy football. And it's much like church league softball. Because we're supposed to be like, sweet, docile Christians, but I'm giving the pastor the eyeballs on Sunday morning while he's in the pulpit because I'm playing him that week. And I'm like, you're going down, Brody. You're going down. I get aggressive if it's a competition and I'm in it, like I want to win. So I am paying attention to football. I am learning more about it, and I care more about it because I have players on different teams and whatever. So that's super fun. But yeah, that's all that was ever on TV was sports.
So your experience with raising boys and watching sports and having a team, apparently,
Yes.
how do you integrate, or have you integrated those stories into your comedy routine? Have you taken any of this kind of stuff? Because I could see, because I know you have a book coming out soon.
Yes.
And I could see like your next book or your next fun type of a thing could be like My Daughter the Floozy. Like, I think that would be a great title,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would just be like sayings from your mom, like that would be one of those.
Mom called me a floozy. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, no, I do jokes. I do bits and stuff about the boys. I definitely do bits about the boys. My opening joke is, about not wanting children. And even though I already have two, and and I talk about them fighting. I talk about I've got a lot of different bits about them. Depends on the show and where I'm at. If I'm doing like a women's show, then that's material that's relatable to them. I talk about Trey being in the ER 13 times before he was 12 years old. So speaking of MMA, about Ty, my oldest, who is now a CPA in Nashville. When he was younger, one day he suggested that I stop breaking them up, and I put a cage in the backyard, and we just charged the neighbors admission to watch him and Trey fight. Then they could make college money off of them beating each other up every day because they were always in trouble for fighting each other all the time. I try to be mindful. I don't do anything about them now or their lives. Now I might. I'm rocking my From Kentucky with Love hat. This was some hats that were made by my son's wife. It's so wild to say that. He just got married on Saturday, and these were some hats that they were giving out at the wedding reception. Some ball caps, as like a parting gift to
It's a great hat. I was wondering where you got it from because I love it. It's a great hat.
It is a great hat. Yeah, it's a great hat. But like I will be mindful of not doing material about him as an adult. I will probably do some material about being mother of the groom because some funny things some funny things happen over the weekend. Like, and he had one more time, 9 groomsmen, and there were 9 bridesmaids. So this was a huge wedding party. Papa Hot Dog, you know, of course, we hosted the rehearsal dinner. And my dad, Hot Dog, he didn't make it to the speeches. He was there. He did the rehearsal. He had his dinner. And then he was like, wait, 7 people are doing speeches. I'm out. So he left, traded his speech, the best man, my youngest son. He did his speech. He referenced Hot Dog a couple of times and how he's officiated a wedding before. For those of you who may not, if you're new to listening to the podcast, my dad officiated a wedding between Batman and Catwoman on Halloween night several years ago. Long story. What's interesting is their rehearsal dinner was actually on Halloween night. So Trey referenced that, and he was like, you know, so if anything goes wrong or the pastor doesn't show up, you know, Hot Dog can come in pretty clutch for that. All these beautiful speeches. And then the fiance at the time and my son get up to thank everybody. And when they thank everybody, all of a sudden, my dad's phone starts going off. And it's Ozzy Osbourne. And it's doing that. Donut, donut, donut. And it's quiet. It's an intimate little dinner. And they're up there about to say something heartfelt. Hot Dog's already back at the hotel. And his phone goes off in the middle of like the sweetest moment. So that was super fun. The groomsmen, 9 tuxedos, trying to get those back. At the end of the night, we ended up home at 2:00 in the morning, matching up all the bags. My son's leaving for a cruise the next morning, and I know my other son's not getting out of bed, and we're missing a whole tuxedo. Yes. So I text Ty, and I'm like, hey, so I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're about to go to the airport, but your brother won't wake up, and I got to get these guys before they get on flights and out of town, and you know, whatever. I'm pretty sure I know whose tuxedo it is. And they were pretty sure whose tuxedo it was. He's just a doll baby. They were like, hold on, let us look. The next thing I get, Michelle, is a text message of that young man, full tuxedo, on somebody's social media, like Snapchat or something, at a bar. He just, after the reception, went downtown to party in his full tuxedo. Like, wow. And it was caught on social media, and they're like, well, we found the tuxedo. So I'm like, okay, just tell him to get it to me before he goes out of town. So he dropped it off. I had Christmas socks. I had somebody's phone charger. And then we opened one of the tuxedos, and the shirt, there was blood. I was like, what in the world happened? And Ty starts laughing. He goes, oh yeah, that was so-and-so. He busted his chin open doing the worm on the dance floor. So at some point.
Yeah, sure. We started this podcast talking about murder.
Yes.
And you know, Murder Mysteries, and now you have a tuxedo with blood on it.
Yes.
And you don't know whose that was, and it's conveniently a worm dance.
Yes, and then another tuxedo is missing. So it's like, what happened? So, but then when that kid brought his tuxedo, we opened the bag and there's blood on his, because he's the one who helped the worm guy when he was bleeding. So we had 2 bloody tuxedos.
Wait.
What's happening?
So the missing tux guy, he goes out partying, wearing blood, and he still goes out to other places. Okay. Yes. Now, my I have another question, because I know you've had a really busy week and weekend and all the things, but I gotta know now, is there something going on with that spatula behind you?
Oh, spatula make me cry, Michelle. You
What?
want to see the spatula? Okay.
I do.
I'm
Yeah.
going to show you the spatula.
Is
Listen,
there blood on it?
I'm such a mess right now. I got running shoes on. I just threw something on to get in here because it's been a crazy day. I saved the spatula because I do a lot of stories about how I catch stuff on fire and I married a fireman.
Yeah.
Um,
What happened with that?
that's a melted spatula tray. I can't remember what he caught on fire, but one time within 1 week, both of my boys caught something on fire in our kitchen that set off the smoke detectors that called the fire department. And Jason was the fire chief of our city. And I found this, I kept it because this was when Ty caught the smoke, set the smoke detector off. And he just left a plastic spatula in a pan of cooking bacon. And the spatula caught on fire. And it set off the smoke detector. But like when your child, when they go and they get married and you're like going through stuff because you're looking for things, they wanted a picture of my mom and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
when I find this spatula and I was like, oh, my baby.
So you didn't carry flowers, you carried the
I
spatula.
carried the spatula. No, that would have been great. But like so many things just hit the emotions.
Yeah.
And for me, like I did fine during the whole ceremony. My favorite part, absolutely my favorite part, was the mother and son dance. Not because I was dancing with my son, but because for 2 minutes and like 30 seconds, it was just us and nobody else in the world. And I felt like everything, it was just running back and forth. They had a golf outing on Friday morning, and then we had to get guys to the hotel and then to an Airbnb and deliver food and then get them over to the rehearsal. And then from the rehearsal, then we had the rehearsal dinner that we, were hosting. And then when that was over, it was back to getting them breakfast the next morning and shuttling to other places. So it never stopped, and then it's odd being the mother of the groom. You're in kind of, you're there, but you feel very outside of what's going on. And the bride's parents have worked so hard and planned everything very meticulously, and you don't know what expectations are, so you don't want to step on their moments with their daughter, so it's a very you just want to honor that space and the folks who put the wedding together. And so I had some really wonderful moments with her mom. It was really very enjoyable. It was a crazy beautiful wedding, but I had 2.5 minutes where it felt like it was just me and my kid. And so I did fine. I didn't cry. There was nothing. We danced to Stand By Me. And we packed everything up and we got home. And then yesterday, just sheer exhaustion after we said goodbye to everybody, just sheer exhaustion. And Jason and I were sitting on the couch watching football, and I just wept. I was like, I'm tired. And they're gone on their honeymoon, and it's so surreal. I don't know. So anyway, that's all it took for me to melt down, was a melted spatula, and done. I was done. But that's when I realized too that as a fireman and as fire chief and as a wife of a fireman, I didn't know at that point, we had never told our kids how to fight a grease fire. So I was like, oh, buddy, quick question. If it hadn't gone out, how would you have put out that fire, that, whatever fire? And he goes, I guess I'd pour water on it. And I was like, no, we failed. We failed miserably.
So, okay. So you don't pour water on a grease fire? Do you have one of those blanket thingies?
Well, not everybody has one of those blanket thingies.
Oh.
My mother-in-law, Connie, who looked beautiful at the wedding, by the way, she got me one. Someone should have got me one years ago. She got me one for Christmas. I think all the kids she got for Christmas. No, you can throw flour on it. You want to smother it, but you don't want to water and oil don't mix, so it will spread the fire if you do
So you
that.
want to smother it like you smother your kids. Got it.
Like I was smothering my children. I know. I feel like
We,
I was never that smothering mom. But who knows? Maybe I was. But either way, so the kids are married, and now it's like wake up. It's Monday. It's comedy. I'm trying to get my life back together. But here's something super exciting. So this weekend, I'll be in Beth Alto, Illinois. I'm getting to do an epic show on the epic tour with Leslie Robb and Rhonda Corey, because we need a Rhonda Corey moment and a Leslie Robb moment. And we need a Christy Conder moment too. So Christy's on the show. Our friend Karen Hoover is going to be doing the praise and worship. So that's on Friday night. No, yeah, Karen's doing the praise and worship and some comedy as well. She's kind of hosting in praise and worship. So Christian McCartney, our good friend Christian, he is going to be in Nashville and he's doing a show the same night I'm doing the show in Beth Alto. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to miss him. Well, then we were talking today, and he doesn't have a show on Sunday night.
Okay.
He's going to be at Zany's on Monday for the New Material Monday, like Nate Land presents and stuff. And so anyway, we're doing a pop-up show. I've been going to a little church, a seed church called Living Hope, Scottsville Road, and here in Bowling Green. And it's just a perfect intimate, it's not a big church. It's a spin off, like a seed church from one of the mega churches. And I called the pastor. I was like, hey, it's kind of last minute, but would you want us to just do a little pop-up show, be, free to our congregation and a little outreach for the community. And, they kind of ran it past the powers that be, I suppose. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. So this weekend at Living Hope Scottsville Road, and I'll share it on my social media page and I'll share it on junebugcomedy.com. I'll actually be doing a pop-up comedy show with Christian McCartney and Christy Conder. So she's going to grab him in Nashville, drive him to Bowling Green, and we're going to rock it out at Living Hope Scottsville Road. So yeah, so anybody follow me at Junebug Comedy on all the social media platforms, junebugcomedy.com. And you can find information about that if you're here locally in the Bowling Green area. That will be really cool if you come out and get to see us. We're just going to sling some jokes and just do it to bless the community. So I'm excited about that. And one more thing, Michelle, I didn't tell you yet, but I may be doing a show. It's in the works at a theater in my hometown in Greenfield, Indiana.
Wait. In Greenfield?
Yes, where I was born, which will be super.
Hold up.
Cool. So,
I thought you were born in Indiana. You were born in
Greenfield, Indiana, is what I'm saying.
Okay. In my head, I was thinking Greenville, Kentucky. I'm like, where is that? Okay.
Sorry, my asthma is so bad. Greenfield.
Greenfield. Okay.
So I'll keep you posted on that as those events unfold. So hopefully that'll work out. And
that'll be exciting.
I have a lot of friends and family in that area.
And that'll end up being all posted on June's websites and social media. So make sure you're following her, junebugcomedy.com or June Colson Comedy or June Colson, anywhere. Google her, and find her everywhere and then some, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was just looking to see. I have one other thing, but I can't talk about it yet. So,
so
there's that. So there's that. And Michelle, let's follow Michelle too. Michelle's Michele VanDusen.org, Facebook and YouTube, Michelle's Comedy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy.
So there's that. And well, we are the Laugh Support Podcast. So it'd be great if you followed us on our social media platforms on Instagram and YouTube and all of those things. And a reminder of our last episode with Vincent Rutley. Don't forget to, go back, watch that episode. Vincent's book's out, Elijah and the Potter. And we would love for you guys to make sure that you are grabbing a copy of that. And then Michelle, next episode, hopefully I'll be able to do an update on the printing of my book. So the last I heard, it should be ready for print About a week from Friday. So
Okay.
hopefully by a week from Friday, we'll have some news, or I'll get to see one in hand, because I'll have a local printer print it here for
Mhm.
me to have a copy of it to look at. And yeah, we'll be going
That's
from there. So
exciting.
come out of the whirlwind of wedding and into the whirlwind of comedy. But I'm so glad to be back hanging out with you at the last.
I love it. I love it. You have been so busy. So like we haven't been able to have any guests because I haven't been able to schedule anything because you have been everywhere and then some. Now, I thought my season was over, like I was
Mhm.
done, but I forgot that I have an event this coming weekend, this coming
Nice.
Saturday, right? Is it this weekend is the 8th? Yeah. Anyway, I forgot all about it. But thankfully, the person contacted me like a week or two ago. I was like, oh, yeah, of course, I'll be there. But this one, it's Grief, Grace, and Great Chocolate. That's the title of it. And it's a seminar, it's ladies conference, like, it's half a day conference kind of a deal, like
Yeah.
9 to 1 or something. And it's all about grief and that kind of stuff. And there's a counselor there that's speaking, someone that wrote a book, she's speaking, like there's all these, and then me. So my the title of my portion is how laughter brings us hope, kind of a thing, or
Yeah.
hope and laughter kind of a deal. So we'll see what goes there, and I will be telling some of my stories and some of the comedy that I don't normally do. About my pocket mama, because I haven't done that one in a while, and then the whole gamut of my parents and that kind of
Yeah.
deal. So it'll be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's going to be a very heavy weekend. But it's
Yeah.
also going to be a very uh,
Is that because of the chocolate?
yes,
That's
yes, it's
gotta
going to
be
be
so
because of the
heavy.
chocolate. That's right, baby.
That's why
Well,
I'm so heavy. I blame it on the chocolate.
hey, did you know you should have at least 2 dark chocolate bars? That gets you enough magnesium in your body that you're supposed to have daily. I was like, huh,
Really?
look at that. Yes, because I was watching something and it was like you can either take, you can either have this many bananas, this much chocolate, this to get enough nutrients versus this pill. And I'm like, I'll take the bananas, the chocolate, please.
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, but no, it's gonna be a heavy but yet a very uplifting time frame because
Yeah.
it's tools to help people get through the grieving process and that kind of stuff. So it's really really good. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, so that's what's coming up. And this past weekend, we did see our youngest. He was at a home show kind of a deal. So we have he trains dogs. He works for a company and he trains dogs, a top tip top canine I don't know, whatever it is. And so he was there with his dog and his company and stuff. And so it was really fun to go and see, because at the beginning of our podcast we talked about, if our parents would come and support or
Yes.
watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So this weekend, we talked about it and Ross goes, well, we need to go support Anthony, he's doing this thing. I'm like, okay. So so we go just to go see him, with his dog. But I gotta tell you, I love how much Violet has grown as a puppy, because she's not a puppy anymore. He'll do this thing where he'll go, the cue for her, he'll say backpack, and he'll just kind of bend a little bit, and she jumps up on his back like a backpack. And her little paws are here, her little head sticking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing. When he showed us that trick the first time, everybody was at our house. And when I mean everybody, like all our children and our grandbaby. And so, and Anthony and his wife. And anyway, so he goes backpack. So Violet jumps up. Well, our granddaughter, she goes backpack, backpack. And she ran and jumped on Anthony's wife's back. So then we have a picture of, of the two of them holding, one's holding the dog and the other one's holding the grandbaby. It was hilarious and cute and just adorable as all get out. So, I love watching our children as adults now. That was
Yeah.
my
Well, but I hope you don't watch Dora the Explorer with the dog in the house, because it may attack someone because you ever watch Dora? She says, backpack, backpack. And like, if you're not ready, you may end up with that dog on your back.
Yeah, I know.
Don't watch Dora. And then other than that, that's a cool trick. So
Yeah. So it was really neat. Anyway, so
that is super cool. That is
yeah.
really cool. I need to one day we'll get another puppy, Reggie with Reggie gone. One day we'll get another puppy and I'll just send it to Oklahoma and you can send it back to me when it's trained and it'll be my backpack.
There
So
you go.
I just don't want to do that part again. So
It'll just give you a reason to come and visit again.
yeah, I like that. All right, let's do the tip of the day. We'll round this one out.
Tip of the week.
Or tip of the week. I always do it. I always say it. I always do it. Whatever. Tip of the week is don't let them leave. This is just a mother of the groom tip. If you got a kid about to get married and you're responsible for tuxedos, put shock collars on them. Speaking of dogs, if you have to, put a shock collar on every one of those groomsmen and don't let them out if you're responsible for returning tuxedos, because the last thing you want is to be hunting young men down around town as they strut their stuff in their tuxedo suits. So it has nothing to do with comedy or not really most generally our entire audience, but maybe I'm saving one mom and one dad the grief of hunting down a tuxedo. Don't trust them. I don't care. My son, every one of these guys, highly intelligent, wonderful young men, great careers. And when they get together, if it's guys, they go right back to when they met in college. They're suddenly fraternity brothers again, or baseball players again, or however they met. And you can't trust them. So that's my tip of the week.
I think that's a great tip. And I'm probably going to make that the soundbite for this of when you're hunting young men.
No, let's not do a tip let's not do a clip of me talking about hunting young men. This could go so wrong, but also like, who cares? Maybe it'll go viral and we'll get, another listener, Rhonda and a friend or something. No, good night. Yeah.
That's the best. I don't think I could top that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was just
married 30 years, and the clip of me is going to be when I'm out there hunting young men in the bars. No.
Don't let them leave.
Don't let them leave. That's the tip of the week. Don't let them young men leave. Okay. Michele, what is your wonderful, amazing, is this one of the kids' jokes or is this one of your jokes? See, I have to be nice when it's one of the kids. Go ahead. What's the joke of the week?
Well, and the fact that, Thanksgiving is coming up. So this will be a Thanksgiving type of thing. So what happens when the turkey falls into a river?
I don't know, Michele. What happens when a turkey falls into the river?
He gets wet.
And who's the joke from? You again. You dirty rat. You used the children.
Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's from Deja.
All right, Deja. Okay, Deja. Good joke, Deja. I love a good turkey joke. Even though Michelle's a big old turkey, you big turkey bird. Okay, that's it for this episode of the most random laugh support podcast of all time. I am
knock knock.
Michele, no, I'm not here. Who's there?
Alfredo
who?
Alfredo, time is up for listening.
No. That's it. Jesus and Junebug loves you. Michele, it's time to go. Let's go. Let's get out. Let's go.
Bye.